Hi, my name is Nicole Melfi, and my research presentation is on flipped learning versus direct instruction in mathematics. The purpose of my research study is to determine if students are more successful in mathematics when they participate in a flipped classroom compared to a traditional lecture approach. Today, teachers face many challenges in the classroom. Some of these challenges include meeting diverse learning abilities and styles, ensuring all students master the state standards, all while keeping students engaged and motivated to learn. New instructional strategies are challenging traditional teaching methods. Technology continues to play a significant role in the ability to execute new teaching methods and strategies. Flipped learning is a relatively new concept that is making its way into the classroom. Studies have shown that flipped classrooms promote student-centered learning in an environment that is conducive to learning and success. In a study done by Goodnaw and Murphy, researchers found that teachers with differing levels of subject area expertise, ease with technology, and experience teaching were able to improve their practice by developing their community and their tools. In a study done by Fenema, teachers reflected on their role in the classroom and found that a student-centered learning environment where students participate in problem-solving experiences leads to positive outcomes. Changes in the instruction of individual teachers were directly related to changes in their students' achievement. Direct instruction programs provide high-quality opportunities for student success by engaging learners with robust lessons that have been tested for efficacy. Lopez and Soares found that the success rate for the flipped classroom is greater than the success rate for the traditional classroom. The purpose of their study was to investigate how a flipped classroom affects students' class training, learning, and achievement. The study consisted of a mixed methods approach, collecting both quantitative and qualitative data in a college finance class. According to Lopez and Soares, the flipped classroom increases students' responsibility for their own learning. They become more self-directed and motivated than in a traditional classroom environment. Love conducted a study in a sophomore level applied linear algebra course to compare student performance in two instructional models, the flipped classroom and the traditional classroom. The researchers found that students within a flipped classroom still performed as well as their peers in a traditional classroom on the final exam, representing conceptual understanding. Not only did the students in the flipped classroom learn the necessary mathematical skills, they provided feedback that they enjoyed the class more than those in the traditional classroom. Clark completed a study to assess the flipped classroom model's impact on student engagement and performance in a secondary mathematics classroom. The results show a similar performance between abilities of traditional and flipped classrooms on the content covered on the unit test. Based on the qualitative portion, results show that participants commented on how the flipped model of instruction encouraged active engagement and increased their participation. Student participants recognized their passive interactions during class lectures. Based on the reviewed literature, it is important that teachers consider how children learn while making instructional decisions. When the flipped classroom model is compared to the traditional teaching methods, studies have found that mathematical proficiency and achievement are similar among student outcomes. There have not been significant differences between student achievement and competency in mathematics. Studies have found that a flipped classroom approach is an effective instructional method that increases student engagement and promotes an active learning environment. To further investigate the achievement effects of flipped learning versus direct instruction, this study examined student success in a middle school mathematics class. Additionally, students' attitudes and perceptions are surveyed about each teaching method. This study considers the following hypothesis. Students who participate in a flipped classroom will have greater academic achievement of the math content than those who participate in a traditional environment. The flipped classroom approach has been shown to be an effective instructional method that allows teachers and students to spend more class time mastering the content rather than taking notes or listening to a lecture. Though direct instruction is still an effective approach, teachers have more flexibility in the flipped classroom environment to differentiate instruction and meet the varying needs of students. The setting of the research study is Girard Intermediate School, which is a public school located in Girard, Ohio. Approximately 61% of the school's students qualify for free and reduced lunch. The research participants for this study are 39 students in the 6th grade. These 39 students have been selected because of their class placement. The sample includes students who have 504 plans. Group A consists of 10 boys and 14 girls. Group B consists of 6 boys and 9 girls. One threat to the validity of this study is differential selection, because differences between the two groups, such as intelligence and learning styles, that exist which can potentially affect outcomes of the study. The primary purpose of this study is to compare academic performance of students when exposed to different teaching styles. Since the groups are already formed into classes, the design of this study is post-test only with non-equivalent groups. This study will collect quantitative data by administering a post-test on the assigned content standard. This data allows for comparison of student achievement in each of the classroom settings. The independent variable for this study is the teaching style provided to each group. The dependent variable is student performance on the post-test. The study will also measure student attitudes about the flipped classroom by administering a Likert survey at the end of the study. The post-tests used to measure student achievement are teacher-created and based on the content standards. The post-tests are appropriate because they measure student mastery of the weekly content standard. In order to collect data on student attitudes and perceptions, students will complete a 5-question Likert survey based on a 5-point rating scale at the end of the study. The survey consists of statements about the classroom setting that pertained to individuals' assignment. The survey follows the key principles of questionnaire construction to ensure clear data about how the participants think or feel. An example of a question from this survey is, I am more motivated to learn math in a flipped classroom. The 5-point rating scale is as follows. 1, strongly disagree. 2, disagree. 3, neither agree nor disagree. 4, agree. And 5, strongly agree. For this study, the students are already formed into 2 groups based on their class placement. Each group will participate in one of the classroom models for a 90-minute math class. Group A will participate in the traditional classroom setting where the teacher provides content, notes, videos, and practice assessments to the whole group. Group B will participate in the flipped classroom setting where the teacher provides notes and videos prior to meeting for class, and class time is used for practicing the content. Each week, the 2 groups will meet in the assigned class and participate in the learning activities for that model and content standard. At the end of the week, students will take the post-test to measure mastery of the learning goal. Data will be collected from the post-test using Google Forms, and student scores will be organized in Google Sheets. The 5-question Likert survey will be completed at the end of the study and recorded on Google Forms. I am currently waiting for approval from IRB-Net to begin my research study. Once I am approved, I will begin the action research project in my 6th grade math classroom. I am curious about what the data will yield from this project. I am expecting students to rate the flipped classroom model higher on the Likert survey than the direct instruction model. I am also expecting students who participate in the flipped model to score higher on the post-test for each content standard. The outcomes of this research project will provide data on the effectiveness of each teaching model and individual student perceptions. The results from this research project will determine the impact of the identified teaching model and help me improve future instruction in my math classroom. Thank you.